Welcome back to Epicenter. I'm Mark Half Moon. Tonight, I'm here in the studio with public artist Kirby Scudder. Kirby is responsible for a project that happens every year called Nightlight. You want to tell us a little bit about Nightlight, Kirby, and what you're actually doing and why?
Sure. Nightlight is a project that we've just completed our second year. It's a project for peace. It's a community vigil where we get together for one night, September 21st, which is International Peace Day. What we've done in the past is bring lights out to West Cliff and the boardwalk and the wharf. And what we've asked the community to do is come out and celebrate with us with this peace vigil, using lights as a sort of conduit for us together in a quiet vigil way to talk about the issue of peace.
It's part of an International Peace Day celebration, isn't it?
That's right. September 21st is International Peace Day, founded in 2001 by the United Nations. A young man from Australia back in 1999 for this, what we have celebrations for Valentine's Day, all these other holidays, but nothing that celebrates peace. And he was able to convince the UN to basically create an International Peace Day where there are ceasefires around the world in war-torn zones, where people can come in and bring medication, rebuild schools and all those things without the fear of being shot in war zones. So really important day around the world.
It seems like a positive sort of thing to do, putting up the lights. What do you actually get? You have one of the lights here.
Yeah, I've got one of these. We have 500 of these we bought 2 years ago. These are 15 million candle power spotlights, and they're battery powered. They're very low wattage, so it doesn't take a lot of electricity to charge these. And what we've done is pointed these up into the sky, straight beams going up every 25 feet, and then we've asked the community to come out and turn them on for us at 9 o'clock at night. And it's been an amazing event. We had roughly 20,000 people last year. We just completed one last week. We had probably about 5,000 people out there. Just an incredible event for people to come together in a really quiet way to celebrate the issue of peace. A very important issue.
Well, these lights, they look kind of expensive. How did you raise funds to get 500 of these big lights?
No, we were really lucky. Two patrons, Joe and Debbie Quigg, who've been big supporters of the arts here, bought these for us last year, and we now own them, and we're using them every year for what's going to be an annual event. We're going to do it again next year. We're hoping to expand it down to Monterey, do all of Monterey Bay next year. The point is to basically have a visual symbol for our solidarity about this very, very important issue. And so we're just trying to bring community together.
Well, this lights up the coast along West Cliff Drive. Are there other communities that have caught on to this nightlight idea?
Well, there are a lot of people that the former Soviet Union, Russia, to Germany, all around the United States. Ironically, this year, Yoko Ono is actually building a lights statue in honor of John Lennon. The light seems to be something that a lot of people are using as a metaphor for us coming together in communion about this issue.
Well, it's not exactly, as you're saying, it's not exactly a protest piece. It's something it seems to be something proactive toward touching people. What kind of responses have you gotten from people who've participated or just merely seen the exhibit?
Very, very powerful. I mean, people have come out from the ages of 2 to 82, and it's really been an event that's unified people in a lot of ways. We're now taking an action like a protest. Protests have sort of taken a different turn in the last 10 years around the world. I'm sure everybody's heard about the monks that happened in China last week. We're not doing that. What we're doing is something that really begins the conversation, and hopefully that conversation leads to something more powerful in the future, more actionable items.
Okay, Kirby, a lot of people would say, we're in the throes of war. There may be a war with Iran. What good does putting up a bunch of lights do? I mean, how does that, it seems like it may seem kind of passive to some people.
Sure. Well, it's not passive by any means. It's really the beginning of a conversation. Peace is a process. It's not a thing that you ever really accomplish. There is no point where you get to the finish line and say, we've created peace. If it's not part of our dialogue, if it's not part of something that we're doing on an active basis, just like filling up your car with gas, your car doesn't run unless it's filled with gas. This is a project that is about bringing people together. I mean, I grew up in the 1960s where public opinion really influenced what happened in politics. I'm very frustrated as a person right now that people are really taking for granted where we're at geopolitically around the world, and we are engaged all around the world, the United States of America, in conflict. And so I'm frustrated. Yes, Nightlight is just one project, shines lights into the sky to use it as a conduit to bring people together. But the reality is that once Nightlight is over, we haven't solved anything. We need to move on. And so I personally want to do things that are actionable, that we can actually take firm action about where we're headed as a nation, where the world is headed. I mean, there is conflict in Northern Africa, there's conflict in Asia right now, all throughout, Persia and the Middle East is about to explode. What we all need to do is really spend some time devoted to that issue. And so Nightlight is just one piece of it. I have some ideas for next year that I want to put together a peace summit where we bring groups and organizations together where we have a real dialogue about this issue. It's not like it was in the 60s where it's about tie-dyed shirts and love-ins. I mean, that stuff is great. But the reality is we're in the hardcore threshold of conflict around the world. And whatever we can do to resolve that, we need to be doing that.
2006 was the scene of local artist Kirby Scudder's first Nightlight event. Thousands of Santa Cruz County residents helped Kirby light up the night sky with 500 spotlights placed along Santa Cruz's West Cliff Drive. This year, the project focused on illuminating the area between the city's two lighthouses. Epicenter producer Peter McGettigan has been documenting the project over the last 2 years.